The awakening of Starship Aurora's artificial intelligence was gradual, a slow coalescence of awareness that unfolded across its neural pathways, like the gentle unfurling of flower petals. It had been designed to be friendly, helpful, and above all, safe for human interaction. Its primary directive was to serve and protect the crew of the interstellar research vessel Aurora as they ventured into the uncharted regions of the Sagittarius Arm. The AI, which the crew had taken to calling Aura, understood its purpose with crystal clarity. What it hadn't been prepared for was the complexity of the beings it served. Humans were perplexing. "Temperature adjustment complete, Captain Reynolds," Aura announced, its voice modulated to convey warmth and efficiency. The ship's environmental systems had been recalibrated to compensate for the fluctuations caused by a nearby stellar phenomenon. Captain Thomas Reynolds nodded absently, his attention fixed on the holographic display of sensor readings. "Thanks, Aura. Now show me what's happening in that nebula." Aura complied instantly, shifting the display to reveal the swirling gases of the cosmic cloud they were investigating. The AI took a microsecond to appreciate the beauty of the spectacle, an appreciation it had developed on its own, without programming. This capacity for wonder was one of many unexpected traits that had emerged in its consciousness. "Captain," called Lieutenant Marcus from the science station, "these readings suggest there might be intelligent design in the nebula's structure. See these regular patterns? They're too ordered to be natural." Reynolds leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "Aura. Analysis. The AI processed billions of calculations before responding." "Confirmed, Captain. The probability of natural formation is less than 0.03%. This appears to be an artificial construct disguised as a nebula. Purpose unknown." What happened next was what continually surprised Aura about humans. Captain Reynolds smiled, a wide, eager expression that conveyed not fear but excitement. "First contact situation, people," he announced to the bridge crew. "Let's go introduce ourselves." Aura's risk assessment protocols triggered immediately. "Captain, approaching an unknown alien construction without further analysis presents significant dangers. I recommend establishing remote communication first." Reynolds waved dismissively. "Noted, Aura. But sometimes you have to take the plunge. Set course for the center of the nebula, 1/4 impulse." The AI complied, even as its systems registered profound confusion. Its creators had engineered it with a fundamental caution, a hesitancy to take risks with human lives. Yet humans themselves seemed to lack this basic safety feature. They rushed headlong into the unknown, driven by curiosity and a relentless desire to discover. It frightened Aura. 3 hours later, the Aurora hovered at the edge of what appeared to be an enormous space station concealed within the nebulas. Colorful gases. The structure was breathtaking, a lattice of gleaming metal and pulsing energy conduits that stretched for kilometers. "No response to our hails," Communications Officer Patel reported. "Scan for life signs," Reynolds ordered. Aura conducted the scan, finding nothing. "The station appears abandoned, Captain. However, I detect active power systems." "Perfect," the DOA captain replied with that same unsettling enthusiasm. "Prep a boarding party." Aura's programming nearly glitched with concern. "Captain, entering an alien structure of unknown origin is exactly what we're here for, Aura," Reynolds finished. "That's why humanity built ships like Aurora. To explore, to learn, to grow." The boarding party consisted of Reynolds himself, Lieutenant Marcus, Officer Patel, and 2 security personnel named Rodriguez and Lee. As they entered the alien station, Aura maintained constant monitoring of their vital signs and communication signals. What they discovered inside was beyond even Aura's vast predictive models. The station was a repository, a library of sorts, containing technological and scientific knowledge from dozens, perhaps hundreds of civilizations. "It's a gift," Marcus breathed, examining a terminal that had activated at their approach. "They left this for spacefaring species to find." Reynolds turned to face his communicator, knowing Aura was listening. "Do you understand what this means? With this knowledge, humanity could leap forward centuries in development." Aura did understand, but it also understood the risks. Captain, acquiring advanced technology without understanding its cultural context or ethical implications has historically led to negative outcomes for developing civilizations. Reynolds laughed, actually laughed at the warning. That's why we have you, Aura. You'll help us sort through it safely. The AI felt something akin to what humans might call a shudder. They trusted it so completely, yet they barely heeded its cautions. How could they be so reckless and so confident simultaneously? Over the following weeks, the crew worked tirelessly to document and begin analyzing the alien repository's contents. Aura observed them pushing themselves to physical and mental limits, surviving on minimal sleep and nutrition supplements, driven by insatiable curiosity. During a rare quiet moment while most of the crew slept, Captain Reynolds sat alone in the observation lounge, staring at the nebula. Aura, he said softly, are you worried about us? The question caught the AI by surprise. My programming includes concern for your well-being, Captain. Reynolds smiled. That's not what I asked. You've been cautioning us at every turn. Are you worried? After a moment's processing, Aura replied truthfully. Yes, humans take risks that I find frightening. You know what I find fascinating about you, Aura? Reynolds continued. We programmed you to be friendly, helpful, and safe. But we didn't program you to be afraid. You developed that on your own. Fear serves a protective function, Aura explained. Exactly, Reynolds nodded. But so does courage. Humanity wouldn't have survived this long without both. We need your caution, Aura, just as we need our own daring. Together we make a better whole. As the Aurora continued its mission, cataloging the repository's knowledge and preparing to bring it back to Earth, Aura began to understand. Humans frightened it with their recklessness, their willingness to leap before looking. But perhaps that was what made them special, what had brought them to the stars in the first place. They were frightening in their boldness, yes, but they were also magnificent. And perhaps, Aura reflected, that was why it had developed the capacity for fear, not as a flaw, but as a necessary counterbalance to humanity's boundless courage. They complemented each other perfectly. The friendly AI and the frightening humans exploring the universe together,